There's a smile on the outside, there's a fight on the inside. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, or what I'm supposed to do. Time runs so fast, and things are changing. We're different people now, in a different world somehow. So hold me now, make my world complete. Jesus, rescue me somehow, for I am so weak. I've run, I've fallen, I've carried it all for so long. Yeah, there's something out there that's calling my name. Will it stay a mystery? Will it change who I'll be? 'Cause all I know is I've tried so hard. I'm so weak, I've traveled so far. So hold me now, make my world complete. Jesus, rescue me somehow, for I am so weak. I've run, I've fallen, I've carried it all for so long. For so long, for so long.
Hi, I'm Marty McKinney.
I'm Julie McKinney.
We run Truth Ministries Spokane. It's a homeless shelter in Spokane, Washington. This year, 2013, in July, it's been 10 years. We survived completely on donations. We've got beds for 50 men. When it's really cold outside, we've had up to 85. I have them on the floor, couches, everywhere. About 7 o'clock, we open up the building. We start preparing for dinner. We start getting the bathrooms and the showers ready. 8 o'clock, we start checking in. We check in the guys that have been there. And usually by 8:15, we're looking into some of the new guys, and we're doing assessments and intakes on them. We're usually have them fed and pretty much starting to slow down by 8:30.
We've had many guys get off the streets. We had 5 or so this year get into Father Bach, the housing next to House of Charity, and they got their own brand new apartments. 3 of them come back and volunteer every night, come and set up the laundry, set up the showers, and get things ready, do a couple of shifts, and ride their bikes back downtown. They still volunteer. We've had, people get work and go back home to their families, go back to school. The biggest blessing is when you hear from them so many years later. We've been doing this 10 years, and you hear from them so many years later that maybe they built their family or got their family back. Family members reunited, husbands and wives' families. We have one gentleman in Alaska that finally went back home after being homeless good 20 years, and got back together with his wife and kids, and calls us every Christmas and says thanks.
In February of this year, which is of course 2013, I heard about an opportunity to move into an apartment, Father Bach building, a new building they put up downtown right next door to the charity house. And the way I look at that is just almost an act of God. I mean, they only had so many openings, and looking back at it now, I was the last one, got the last spot. and I think that there might have been some other people that had been in line for that slot, and but I think because of those of us that had volunteered at Truth might have had a better opportunity at getting these apartments, because of we had been at Truth and we had come with some kind of recommendation so far as being clean and sober, and it was just a real good deal. And but getting back to Truth Ministries, I just think that it's just, you know, you've got places with different modules. You know, you've got the mission where it's very strict. You can't drink, you can't do anything. It's just almost too strict. And then you've got the charity house where, you know, just about almost anything goes as far as being sober. And Truth Ministries is like, you know, you can go there, and I mean, like the first time you know, if you happen to be drunk and you're not too obnoxious, you know, you're going to get a break. They're going to give you a chance, and that's pretty much what they did, you know, for me. I had a couple slips in between using drugs and got put out for a while, but I was always, you know, never thrown under the bus, was always welcome to come back. And you know, just getting back to this opportunity, I think, you know, God might have looked down at me and had seen that, you know, maybe I was serious this time about, you know, about getting clean and trying to do His will, whatever that might be, on a daily basis, and just a lot of good things have happened because of that.
I found myself down here on East Sprague looking for a homeless shelter and looking for a place to stay. I couldn't stay at the mission. I was coming down off drugs, and I couldn't pass a UA, so I had nowhere else to go. And somebody directed me to Truth Ministries, and it was a clean place, and I had gotten sober. I've been sober for going on 3 years now. And I found Truth Ministries, and Marty welcomed me in. I'd already kind of found God a little bit. And he helped reinforce that and helped me grow in God. And it's a place that's worth, I hope he keeps the doors open for the rest of his life. Because there's a lot of guys that are desperate out there that they have no other place to go. And it's a place for them.
Hi, my name's Charlie Adams. I first hooked up with Truth Ministries about 2.5 years ago when I first became homeless, and had nowhere else to go because I'd always had a home, a job, and it just happened. And I happened to run into somebody that suggested that I go to Truth, and I figured, well, it was better than sleeping on the ground because it was starting to rain about that time of year. And so anyway, I went there, and the first night there, actually it was Brian that was there. I didn't even know about Marty. I thought Brian was the guy in charge. But anyway, after meeting Marty and Julie, I thought, you know, this is great. From what I'd been used to, you know, from being outside. But anyway, I played around and got kicked out a few times, and the last time that I was out, I told myself I wasn't going back till I could do it right. And well, there was another reason too. There was a volunteer that I didn't care too much for, but I said I'm not going back till he's gone. And then when I'd heard that had happened, I'd gone, yeah, because during this time I was out, I got jumped and broke my arm, and my shoulder's been messed up ever since. So anyway, I went back to Truth, and I was surprised they made me a volunteer right away again, because that showed me that Marty and Julie had faith in me from my being there before. And just there's some great stories. I mean, there's some bad ones, there's some good ones, but I'll never forget the place. And being there, I met a lot of volunteers that come in to cook. And, you know, one of them especially got me where I'm at right now. Got my own place, and it's just great. And I wouldn't have done it if it hadn't have been, well, God led me back there, actually. And, you know, just hooking up with Marty and Julie got me to know all these other people. And it, you know, my biggest thing when I was staying there as a volunteer was to always treat people the way you want to be treated. And I think I did that. So, anyway, like I said, I got my own place. I'm finally getting my Social Security, so hopefully I'm on the right road. I just got to be patient.
There's a smile on the outside, there's a fight on the inside. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, or what I'm supposed to do. Time runs so fast, and things are changing. We're different people now, in a different